Hello, friends. A very good evening to all of you, and welcome to our weekly YouTube Live, the Concrete Show with Mukund Joshi. Today, we are going to discuss an exciting topic: how to give an outstanding presentation. When I say outstanding, I mean it is a presentation which resonates with your audience. It is a presentation which becomes memorable for them and they remember it even years after you give it. It is an outstanding presentation if you transform your audience in a certain way. I believe that anyone on this planet can give an outstanding presentation if it has three key ingredients, if it has got three important attributes, if it has got three special secrets. The first secret that we will see that you need to incorporate in your presentation is having a point of view. I have seen so many presentations all my life when the presenter gives lot of information, but he never comes to the point of view that he wants to present. Why should your audience listen to your presentation? Why should they spend their time sitting in front of you? What is it that you want to accomplish by giving your presentation? So you need to clarify your own point of view. We will go ahead and look at point of view in more detail. You need to add many memory hooks because you are giving some information to your audience and you want them to remember it even when the presentation is over. Otherwise, it has been found that the moment the presentation is over, the audience becomes flat. Just like we study for our exam, once exam is over, we forget everything. So you need to create memory hooks. And the third important attribute for your presentation is at the end, there should be call to action. It's very important. It is like a dessert which you are serving to your audience after giving them a full meal. Can your meal be complete without a dessert? No. In the same way, when you give a call to action in the end to your audience, they get certain completeness about your presentation. They feel psychologically complete when they hear a call to action from your side. So how do you remember these 3 points? It is PMC. P for point of view, M for memory hooks, and C for call to action. Number of times we see that a presenter comes and it is like reading a PDF report, right? There are slides after slides, there are so many bullet points on each slide, and the presenter, all he does is reading those points. If you want to read it for the audience, just circulate a PDF document. Why are you standing there? What is the X factor that you will bring to the presentation? What is that X factor? That is the thing which audience expects from you, and that X factor you will get when you will incorporate PMC: point of view, memory hooks, and call to action. The first point of view, is not easy to find. You will have to search for your point of view of your presentation. Let me give you a small example. Let's say you have to prepare a presentation on a simple topic like the freedom struggle for independence of India. So I will ask you, what is your presentation about? You will say it is about freedom struggle for independence of India. Wrong. That cannot be your point. There is first test for your point is I believe test. So when you begin the sentence I believe, your point of view should be able to complete it. So I believe the freedom struggle for independence of India. Incomplete. It's not a complete statement. So how do you make it complete? Only when it gets completed, then you can call it the point. So let's try to complete this sentence. uh, the freedom struggle for independence of India was great. Okay, so I believe the freedom struggle for independence of India was great. Okay, it has passed the first test, but look, there is a second test. It should not be truism, it should not be a general truth which we all know. We all know that the independence struggle of India was great, right? So what are you saying? Where is your X factor coming into it? And that's how you will change the point of view of your presentation, and you will say the freedom struggle for independence of India inspired millions of oppressed people all over the world. That becomes your point of view. So your point of view, the moment you say it, somebody should be able to challenge your point of view, and you will need at least 1 or 2 minutes to defend it, why you are saying that. Only then you can go from a good presentation to a great presentation. Only when your point of view is something which somebody can challenge. Let's look at some engineering examples. So, in the year 2002, we completed a great project using lot of GGBFS in concrete and created a durable concrete structure, won the award, and I had to do a presentation about it in New Delhi. I remember it was year 2004, 2005, and I was there in the conference. Somebody asked me, "What are you going to talk about?" And I said, "Use of GGBFS in concrete." And then the bell rang in my mind. Wait, 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 this cannot be your point of view. So the point of view be use of GGBFS to make a durable concrete? Only then it will complete the first test. I believe use of GGBFS creates a durable concrete. But this is true, we all know about it. What is the great deal, right? So this is a truism, this is a well known fact. That cannot be your point of view. Remember what we said? We need a X factor in our presentation. We need to challenge the audience with our point of view. And so we change the point of view. I believe we all should use 70% GGBFS, very high amount. In 2004, I'm saying 70% GGBFS for 100 years of concrete life. Now, this is a point of view which can move your audience. It will force them to think, it will make them interested in your presentation. Friends, you all must have heard about the TED conference. So, normally there are wonderful TED talks which are given, and we see that the speaker uses wonderful stories to connect the audience with their concept. I still remember that day. It was a cold December morning of 2002 when I was invited at Burns School, famous Burns School at Devlali. So it was an international school. They wanted to expand it and they wanted to have one more building. And I was supposed to go there and give my presentation for concrete durability to the architect. Now, this architect, my friends, was a 80-year-old man, and uh, he had literally no interest in concrete technology. And I went to Burn School and we were sitting in the conference room. I was actually standing in front of him. I opened my laptop. This old gentleman, the great architect, but 80 years old, sitting in front of me, and all the other contractors, all the staff, management of the school were standing behind him with folded hands, waiting for his decision how to do the durable concrete. So I began giving my slides. First slide, second slide. Imagine I'm giving presentation to only one person, only one audience sitting in front of me. And by fifth slide, the architect went to sleep. He started snoring. I am there standing like a fool looking at him. The architect is snoring, and the people standing behind him, they don't know what to do. I got confused for a moment. Have you ever delivered a presentation to sleeping audience? 100% sleeping? Well, that's what it was. So I suddenly went to the last slide, and in my top of my voice, I said, "Sir, here I come to the last slide of my presentation." And he woke up from his sleep and he said, "Okay, proposal approved." So that's how we got the approval for use of these wonderful materials in year 2004. And at that time I realized नाक तो कट गई थी अच्छी तरीके से, एक स्लीपिंग ऑडियंस को प्रेजेंटेशन देना पड़ा, that the presentation has to be filled with stories. It has to be filled with your personal incidences. That's how the audience will get interested. It cannot be only technical stuff, right? So when you will look at all the TED presentations, you'll be amazed to see how wonderful these presentations are. You can go to YouTube and find a TED talk called How Schools Kill the Creativity in Our Children. It is given by Sir Kane Robinson. This YouTube talk has been viewed 21 million times. So, Sir Kane Robinson is speaking about a complicated subject like education, creativity, children, and he doesn't use even one slide. No slideshow. He speaks to you and he conveys the matter to you in such a way that you get a transformed person at the end of your presentation. So these stories, they create memory hooks in our mind. They help the audience to attach the information that you are giving with this memory hook so that they can retain it for a long time. TED conference also has one more rule. The presentation cannot be more than 18 minutes. Cannot be, you can be Bill Gates or Sir Ken Robinson. Everyone comes to TED and gives the presentation between 17 to 18 minutes. Why? Because TED has done lot of research that after 18 minutes, the brain of the audience starts going away. It starts going away, and therefore you need to deliver your point within 18 minutes. Also, they found that 18 minutes is enough to give any complicated subject to the audience so that it can benefit them. So when I was thinking about how long a presentation should be, particularly technical presentation, 18 minutes may be slightly less for us. So let us extend it to 30 minutes, not more than that. Probably 10 more minutes for you, 40 minutes. And I thought I should bring my friend to explain this point for you. So here is a snake, my favorite pet. And the length of a snake, as we know, if it is too short, what will happen? Then you will not take the snake seriously. But if the length of the snake is much longer, where the head doesn't know where the tail is, in that case, what happens? This length of the snake becomes his weak point, and the snake gets killed. In the same way, if the length of your presentation becomes exceedingly long, what will happen? The boredom of the audience will kill your snake, will kill your presentation. The moment they start looking at their cell phones, you will know that, boss, I have exceeded the length. So remember this snake, remember the ideal length of the snake, and in the same way, keep your presentation, technical presentation, between 30 to 40 minutes. Oh, he started moving, let me keep him aside, okay? But don't worry, he's my favorite pet snake. So that's how you also use properties in your presentation. Just the way I used a snake to demonstrate some point to my audience, because the audience loves whenever you show them a real life object. It doesn't have to be snake, something like this. There is another wonderful TED talk by Dr. Taylor. The title of the talk is The Stroke of Insight, My Stroke of Insight. Now, this Dr. Taylor is a neurologist and she is speaking about the brain and various things, and again, no slides at all. And what she does is, on the stage, as a prop, what you will expect from a brain surgeon, what will you expect a brain, she brings a human brain, a real human brain on the stage. After our session, just go and watch my stroke of insight, and that presentation will move you. So she's speaking about a technical subject like human brain without any PowerPoint, and just like conversing with the audience. Sir Kane Williamson speaks about Sir Ken Robinson speaks about education without any PowerPoint. So use props, use stories, and hook your audience. Give them opportunity to remember about what you are telling them, what you are teaching them. The next important thing for a presenter, what it is, our body language and our voice. So there are three golden rules for you to use your voice. The first golden rule is roar like a lion. Speak on top of your voice. Show some voice modulation, but try to keep at the topmost pitch. Why? Because our audience is deaf. No, no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about other audience. But audience finds it hard to listen to us, and therefore you have to pump in extra energy to take your point up to their mind with all their distractions surrounding their brain, right? So roar, speak at the top of your voice, but don't speak very, very, very fast, because the audience has a very low IQ. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about those other audiences, right? What do I mean by low IQ? When they are sitting in an auditorium, when they are listening to your presentation, they are not able to grasp the knowledge at the speed at which you are delivering it. So how should you talk? Slowly, like a elephant, जैसे हिलते डुलते हाथी चलता है. Keep that pace when you are speaking to your audience. But the third important point, the most important, your real friend, is pause like a cheetah. You have seen a cheetah, how it walks and runs, and then he suddenly stops and looks around, and looks and takes a pause. That kind of pause will do three things. First is, it will assert your authority on the subject and on the audience. Audience loves a speaker who takes pauses in between. Second benefit is, it will help you to realign, to research your thoughts, to collect them again so that you can present it to the audience. And the third important benefit of your pause is, the audience also needs some time to absorb what you are saying. So speak at the top of your voice, but speak slowly so that they get it, and you pause in between like this. Okay, so these are the three golden rules for you as we speak. But today our PowerPoint has become our enemy. It's supposed to be our friend, right? We are giving presentations and PowerPoint is supposed to be our friend. But you have seen how people give presentations, slide after slide, slide after slide, each slide full of written text, as if they are circulating a PDF report. If you want to give so much, just send everybody a PDF document. Why you are showing it there on the screen? There you are supposed to communicate with the audience, not read your slides. So rule number one for us is what? No more than 3 bullet points per slide, not more than that, and certainly not more than 20 words on each slide. Be pictorial, be pictorial, use lot of pictures, as you have seen in this presentation which I have tried to do. And there are many books nowadays which say that on presentation, that you should not write anything on the slides. But friends, that is difficult because many of us are visual learners. So when you speak, they may not understand fully, but when you have certain important concepts, highlights written on the slide, these visual learners, they grasp the things, right? So in my honest opinion, you should use slides, but don't keep more than 3 points per slide. How can you make your PowerPoint interesting? So the first one is clarify your PMC. As we have seen, it is not easy to find the point of view. So first decide your point of view. Then you decide which memory hooks, which props, which stories you are going to use in your presentation to give memory hooks for your audience to retain it for years and years. So plan your memory hooks. That is M. And third, decide a call to action. What you are going to tell your audience at the end to do. So once you plan these three things out, then you start drawing mind map. Uh, there are number of apps now available on our mobile to create mind maps, but I still prefer our paper and colorful crayons or colorful sketch pens to create my mind map. So then you lay out your mind map, and only then you start making your PPT. I use the software called Canva for doing all my presentations. You have seen how beautiful the artwork is. I have not done any of it. So if you go to Canva, there are thousands of free templates. Okay, I have a paid plan, but you can use their free plan. Thousands of templates available. You choose a template, means not only one slide, full presentation. And there are thousands of such presentations available. You choose the one which is appropriate to your subject. So I selected this particular one which I am using. I got 25 to 30 slides, and I'm using only 17, 18 here, right? So all you have to do is change the text, and all this artwork, these photos, these images, these fonts, these colors, everything is there in Canva, and within few hours your presentation gets ready, as long as you are clear about your PMC and you have your mind map ready. And once you do these three things, you will rock with your presentation. इन अवर टेक्निकल प्रेजेंटेशन वी हैव टू शो ग्राफ्स, और हमें बहुत बार ये ग्राफ्स दिखाने पड़ते हैं विच कंफ्यूजेस द ऑडियंस. तो जब भी मुझे कोई कॉम्प्लेक्स चीज एक्सप्लेन करनी है, राइट, व्हाट आई डू इज आई जस्ट चेंज माय लैंग्वेज. थोड़ा सा हिंदी का टच ले लेता हूं. अगर आप कोई पर्टिकुलर स्टेट में है, जैसे आंध्रा, and you know that all your audience is Telugu, you can use Telugu for those particular points. Audience loves when you change the language for a short duration at least. Friends, we all know which movies we watch mainly, regional or Hindi movies. How many of us actually go to theaters and watch English movies? No, very rarely, once in a while, right? So we are hardwired to learn, to enjoy life in our mother tongue or in our national language, right? So whenever you give a slight touch, a regional touch, ऑडियंस लव्स इट. और जब ये ऐसे कॉम्प्लिकेटेड पॉइंट्स आते हैं कि ग्राफ बताना है, तो आप क्या करोगे? आप बहुत सारी वैल्यूज नहीं रखोगे ग्राफ में, एकदम क्लीन ग्राफ रखोगे. और जो इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, जैसे मैंने रेड से हाईलाइट किया है, you will highlight it and keep it ready for the audience, so audience will immediately know what is the point that you are trying to make, right? So don't complicate with the graphs. Graphs are a great tool to explain your point, but if we copy the graph from some textbook, it becomes too complicated. Remove all those complications and keep only the important data there for the audience to see, and then you give real life examples from that graph so that they understand what you are saying. Oh my god, I have seen so many deaths of presentation because there were so many tables incorporated in a PPT. Tables like this, why are we showing? Can audience read it? Impossible. uh, are you trying to give them a proof कि बाबा ये book से है करके? If you want to give a proof, write a line. This data is taken from such and such table, such and such book. Give only relevant values to them, right? And you can again use memory hooks. आप फिर एक बार लैंग्वेज चेंज करके हिंदी या रीजनल लैंग्वेज पर जा सकते हो जब आप कोई कॉम्प्लिकेटेड कंसेप्ट एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हो, कोई डेटा पॉइंट के बारे में बात कर रहे हो. गिव देम मेमोरी हुक्स एंड मेक द पॉइंट memorable for your audience. Finally, it is the dessert which you will have to give at the end of your presentation. A call to action. जब तक आप कॉल टू एक्शन नहीं दोगे प्रेजेंटेशन के एंड में, द प्रेजेंटेशन विल वॉश डाउन, दे विल फॉरगेट अबाउट इट. सो अ कॉल टू एक्शन फोर्सेस योर ऑडियंस that when they leave the presentation room, they will have to go out and take up some task and do it. And if possible, send you an email or put a comment, on your blog that they have done it. So a call to action, what it can be? It can be a task which you have taught them, which they can do, right? With a time limit, give them a call to action. Or at least you can ask them to read some book so that will deepen their knowledge further of the given subject, right? So maybe you can ask them to go and read a book, or in the worst scenario, at least ask them to go and watch some video. Give a link of that video in your presentation if you are not able to give any other call to action, right? So a call to action, when you tell them, okay folks, in next 7 days you will have to go watch this video and give me your views on that video, read this book and let me know by email, or put your comments on the blog when you complete this task. They feel completed. The audience psychologically feels, okay, now I have got everything from this presentation. Now I have to go and I have to act out into the world. Remember, this is a desert. Without this desert, your presentation remains incomplete. So here is my 30-day challenge for you, right? My 30-day challenge for you is, decide your favorite topic, whichever in which you are a champ, in which you are great, you know that subject in depth. Apply PMC. So what we have said in PMC, the first is the three test. I believe it should be able to complete your point of view. The second is, it should not be a truism, not a general truth that everybody knows. And the third one is, it should have some X factor, something that will challenge your audience. Then you add stories, add props. You are going to make a presentation, right? You are going to prepare it, and then remember to use your voice. Prepare your presentation, deliver it, record a video, upload it on YouTube, and send me a link in next 30 days in the comments for this particular session, right? So in the comments, whenever you come back, give your link of the video which you will prepare using PMC. Remember these three words, and then God bless you and God bless the audience. Goodbye.